Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy CalLife here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and I just wanted to show you. So, Konami and Master Duel just announced this. We are getting a Forbidden and Limited list update for May 9th, and so this is what we are getting limited and what we are also getting semi-limited. As of right now, we can see that Cyber Angel Benten is now being pushed to 1, and so is Consider of the Golden Lord. So this is going to hurt the Eldritch decks. I don't know if it's going to hurt it too much, but I feel like it will affect it. Now DD Dynamite is getting also hit to 2, and honestly this does nothing. It may slow it down, but because of trap tricks, but honestly, like, it's still going to be enough to kill. Now Sector's Light did get hit to 2, Fusion Destiny got hit to 2. I'm not really sure why they limited the 2, but maybe it was at 1. I'm not sure. Maybe they increased it. I couldn't tell you. The Phantom Knight is also being limited, and I believe this is kind of try to go ahead and stop from getting into Rongo. I could be mistaken though. Maybe this may help it. I'm not sure. Now Tri Brigade got hit. From what I'm hearing from all Tri Brigade players, this card being hit doesn't really affect them, as it's not the biggest loss for them. And then Virtual World Roshi's also being semi-limited to 2. Lyrilusc Kobo is being limited to 2. And sadly, Prank Kids Roxy's is being limited to 2, only because I believe it's being ran in Emancipators decks. But if you're playing Prank Kids, you usually are not running 3 of these anyways, so it really doesn't change much. And then Emancipators Analyze is also being hit to 2. So usually this is good because you usually want to go ahead and Ash Blossom this card anyways. And Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon actually come off from being limited to 1 to being unlimited. So that is interesting. Now I'm not sure if they're going to be doing more cards than just what they're showing here, but this is interesting to see that they are finally doing a ban list. Anyways, the reason I'm making this video is because I want to go ahead and show you guys what the new Drytrons will look like with Cyber Angel Benten limited to 1. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the duels, enjoy the deck list, and comment in the section below if you know how to improve it for when this card is limited to 1, because this post ban is going to be coming up very soon. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. See ya. Now Drytron just got hit with a ban list that's going to be going into effect on May 9th. So what they did is they limited Cyber Angel Benten to 1, and they kept everything mostly the same. I'm actually shocked they didn't hit Eva. Anyways, what we're gonna do is go ahead and test out to see how good Drytrons are still running with only 1 limited copy of Benten. So even though it's not limited as of right now, as you can see, because it's not effective, we're just going to go ahead and act like we are. And so what we're running is 2 copies of Eva, 3 copies of Alphas, 2 copies of Gammas, 3 of Zetas, 1 of Delta. And we still have 3 copies of Herald of Orange Light, 2 Maxx, 3 Diviners of the Herald, 3 Ash Blossoms, 1 Natasha, 1 Benten, and then I decided to go ahead and add Idaten. Now, what I did test out is I added a Idaten, and I also tried it where we didn't have Idaten, but we had Herald of Perfection. To be honest, Herald of Perfection, it worked fine. With Idaten, it also worked fine. So you can literally go either way. It honestly just depends on what you want to do at this point. But like I said, we're going to be adding 1 copy of Idaten. I may try maybe Vrash or Dakini, but the reason I think Idaten works really good is it's because it's also a level 6, just like Benten. So when you do need to get your combo off with your Diviner of Herald, you can still do it because it's also a level 6. And then we're running 1 copy of Ultimatus. I run 1 copy of the UR Meteonis Draconids, and I also run Meteonis Quadrantids. Now most Drytron decks don't run both, but I really like being able to use this effect. That way we can go ahead and get rid of some annoying field spells or monster cards that's on the field, especially since this card does not actually destroy. What it does is it banishes. So with me being able to do that, it's just gets rid of like some really annoying cards, right? And then we're gonna run Harpies Feather Duster, 3 copies of Cyber Emergency, 3 of Drytron Novas, 1 Fafnir, Drytron Fafnir, and then 1 Meteonis Drytron. You can run to 2 copies. I think 1 is still fine. 2 copies of Call by the Grave, 1 Forbidden, and then 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet. So that's what I'm running. I am thinking of maybe swapping out maybe a droplet for an infinite impermanence, but I haven't decided yet. Anyways, onto the extra deck. We are running Elder Entity, 2 copies of Herald Arclight, 1 Lyrilusc Assembled Knight, 1 Drytron Beta Fafnir, 1 Downerd Magician, Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, Divine Arsenal Zeus, Linkaribo, Nightmare Phoenix, Masquerina, Nightmare Unicorn, Sword Dragon, Appaloosa, and Access Code Talker. So to be honest, the only thing we really did was swap out 2 Bentens and I threw in the Idaten. So didn't really do too much of a difference. I mean, the deck still runs fine, but anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the game. And yeah. All right, so it looks like the first duel we are going to be going against some Blue Eyes Chaos Maxx. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and send Delta Altais to the grave. That way we can go ahead and get Alpha onto the field. Then we can go ahead and get rid of our first and only Benten, because remember, we are now only playing with 1 limited Benten. From there we can go ahead and XC summon into Mu Beta Fafnir, and I'm going to go ahead and toss out Zeta because we had a Gamma in the hand. We then send Gamma to the grave to summon Zeta, and then we summon Divine of Herald. We then get rid of our Herald of Art of Light. That way we get Ultimates into our hand, and now we activate Drytron Meteonis so we can bring out Ultimates. We're going to go ahead and use this ability again to bring it back. Then we're going to go ahead and activate it one more time, and this time we're going to bring out Cyber Angel Natasha. Now I summoned Natasha just because of the fact that I wanted to be able to give ourselves some life points and then toss it into the grave. That way we can use this effect later. After that, I decided to go into Masquerina, and then I end my turn. Now with Natasha being in the graveyard, we can, if they special summon a monster, we can activate Natasha's effect, banish a fairy ritual monster from the grave. That way we can go ahead and take the special summon of a monster. They summon out their Mandrew of the 10,000 Arms, hands, whatever it's called, and they decided to go ahead and try to bring some cards to the hand. I let them go through with the Melody Awakening because I was like, oh, he's playing a Blue Eyes deck. I'm not really scared, and then I saw that he was using Chaos Form. We're gonna go ahead and discard that. That way we can negate the Chaos Form. And so far, even with only 1 version of Diviner, one version of Benten, everything's still working fine. We go ahead and discard once again another card to get rid of his Advanced Ritual Art, and then he scoops. So even though we can't extend the combo like we would with 2 versions of Benten, we are still able to at least get our Ultimates, and that way we can still get our negate set up. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next match. All right, so match number 2. So once again, we are going to go ahead and actually go second this turn. So he sets up this weird board where he just summons a Megalo Smasher X, a normal monster, 2K beater. So that kind of threw me off, and then he also went ahead and set up 2 face downs. We draw into Meteonis Drytron. I decide to activate Zeta's ability, get rid of our only single copy of Benten, send it to the grave, and then from there, I'm going to use Zeta to go ahead and send Natasha to the grave. We then get our Cyber Emergency, because we were able to reveal a card in our hand that was either a ritual or a ritual spell to summon Beta Fafnir. Unfortunately, it gets negated because of Solemn, so we go ahead and get our Gamma. We're going to use Gamma's ability to send Herald of Perfection into the grave, and then we're going to bring out Zeta. We activate Diviner of Herald, which once again it gets negated. So not only do we get destroyed, but we also get negated. So kind of sucks. Either way, we summon out Meteonis Drytron, and what we're going to do is bring Natasha to the field. Now Natasha is good because once again, if it's summoned when it hits the grave, we can go ahead and use his ability. That way we can special summon again and take a special summon monster from their field. So I decided to go into Masquerena and go ahead and end my turn, because what I was thinking is whatever he decides to do, I can go ahead and special summon Nightmare Phoenix. And good thing I did, because I have never seen this card before. It's called Heat Wave. At the start of your main phase, neither player can normal or special summon effect monsters until your next draw. So that threw me off, because not only are they links, but they're also effects. Same thing with my ritual monsters. So I decided to go ahead and chain that and get Nightmare Unicorn onto the field. We send away our Meteonis Drytron to send his card to the graveyard. To the deck. We draw into Herald of Ultimateness, so we can't really do anything, so we just go ahead and attack. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. He is down to only 1800 life points though. So he decides to go ahead and get Pot of Prosperity. He activates that, and you can see what he's drawing right here. So I was like, maybe he takes a Ash? But then I thought about it, like, I don't think he would have took an Ash just because he was down to 1800 life points, and unless this face down was going to save him, which I don't think it was, he decides to go ahead and set this card onto the field. So with this field spell is actually quite annoying. We activate Drytron Nova, and then from Drytron Nova, he's able to use his field spell to go ahead and get a token onto the field. It has a 2k beater. Then he draws a card. I activate Natasha so we can go ahead and snatch that card, and then he gets another token onto the field. So I was like, okay, I guess every time I special summon, he gets a token. I don't know, I didn't read the card. Anyways, we activate Meteonis Drytron to bring it back from the grave. I sack Perfection into the graveyard, and then I go ahead and decide to go into access code after summoning 4 cards onto the field. So I'm like, okay, my plan was I can just go ahead and pop this and get rid of this card, but then he decides to activate this card. It's called Phantasm Spiral Battle. If all monsters you control are normal, target one card your opponent controls. If Ami is on the field, you can activate this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one normal monster you control. Equip that. So I was like, oh, this is a type of Ami card. So obviously we lose our big boy access code, but it's okay. I decided to go ahead and send him to the grave. Now we use Alpha's ability to get Alpha. Now I can bring a monster ritual from my deck. I get rid of that so I can now bring in our next card, Zeta. He decides to go ahead and activate Paleozoliac, and then he scoots because he realized even with him activating that, it was still GG's. Anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the next one. So right now, like, if we're being serious, obviously the plays are kind of nerfed, but it's not nerfed to the sense where Drytron just immediately falls down. It still is going to be able to get off combos. Alright, so this is going to be our final video, and immediately he's going to go ahead and use a hero alive. We're going to pop our Maxx, and for some reason this hero player decided to go ahead and take on the Maxx challenge, which kind of threw me off, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, he's gonna go ahead and summon out Stratos, and then from there use Viron. He sends Shadow Mist to the grave, and then he gets a Hero Soldier to the hand. After that, he uses Viron's ability to go ahead and get a Poly from the grave, from his deck, and then he's going to immediately go into Predapant Anaconda. I decide that Predapant Anaconda is actually super annoying, so let's go ahead and use our Herald of Orange Light to go ahead and banish, or to negate it and destroy it. So not only did he lose a lot of life points, he's already down to 2k. So he lost 4k by giving up half of his life points using a hero alive. Then he decided to go ahead and give up another 2k using Predapant. That way he can go ahead and use Neo Fusion. And what did that result to? Nothing. Anyways, he activates Poly, fusing 2 cards to make Sunrise. And then from Sunrise, I get to draw another card. He's going to go ahead and activate Herald Liquid Soldier's ability. After that, Sunrise ability also activates, and he gets himself a Miracle Fusion. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. He goes ahead and uses Miracle Fusion to go ahead and summon out Absolute Zero, and I was actually kind of nervous because I was like, oh, if he has Absolute Zero, he must be playing Mass Change, and then from Mass Change, he can go into the water one, the Mass Hero. I think it's called Anki. I could be wrong though. It's been a while since I played hero cards, whichever the water one is. So I was trying to play around it. So what I did is I used Alpha and sent Altais to the graveyard so we can get Benten. And then from there, I activated Drytron Nova to bring out Zeta. I immediately went into move beta Fafnir. I'm like, okay, there's got to be a time where he's going to mass change, but apparently he doesn't. He actually hit me with Infinite Impermanence, and it was kind of weird because he didn't play Infinite Impermanence in this row. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I didn't have to think about ever having to put any of my cards in that row. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and use Diviner Herald, and then he immediately is gonna go ahead and Ash Blossom me. So I was like, oh, okay. So not only did he have an Infinite Impermanence, but he also had an Ash Blossom. So unfortunately that is negated, but we can still go ahead and do this. Summon our Masquerena, and then from Masquerena we can go ahead and get more combos off. We're gonna go ahead and summon Zeta onto the field, and then from there I'm immediately gonna go into Access Code Talker. Now by getting rid of Access Code Talker, Masquerena, we can go ahead and basically get our attack up to 4300, and then I use it to banish Masquerena so if we could destroy his card. The card he actually had face down was Forbidden Droplet. Not sure why he didn't use this earlier, but it is what it is. I guess he was saving it. And unfortunately for him, Forbidden Droplet can affect access code because you cannot activate cards or effects in response to what it's doing. So I decided to go ahead and get rid of his Absolute Zero as of right now. Absolute Zero ability pops, and usually it would destroy us, but because of the ability of Masquerena goes ahead and protects all monsters from being destroyed by opponent's effect as long as it was used as a link monster. So because we use Masquerena to link summon to get access code, we are protected by card effects. Now the only monster he has left is Sunrise. So he just goes immediately to attack us because he only has 600 life points. He probably didn't draw anything he needed, and that's pretty much it, man. So honestly, I think Drytrons are still strong. Obviously we couldn't get better duels. It's super late. Like as of right now, it is about 1:50 a.m. going on 2 a.m. EST time for me. So if I sound a little tired, it's because I am super tired. But I did want to go ahead and get this video out. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Do not forget to go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, as it does help the channel. And thank you all for so much of the support that you guys have been giving me. We are close to 800 subscribers. I was at 777 yesterday. So if we can get to 800 by the end of the week, I'll be extremely happy and extremely grateful. Thank you all once again.